Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to the Direction Live Online Webinar Series by Esri Malaysia. My name is Hanan, and I'm your host for today's session. So today's topic will be covering the introduction to working with imagery in ArcGIS. Nazmin and Rashdan will share to you about the imagery capabilities available across multiple ArcGIS deployments, which is desktop, enterprise, or SaaS, and we'll learn how to share the accessible and interactive imagery products to improve collaboration and operational management. So today's presenter is Puan Muhammad Nazmin and Rashdan Ahmad. They are both consultant in Enterprise Consulting Department in Esri Malaysia. So without further ado, I shall pass this presentation to Rashdan.
Thank you for the introduction, Hanan. Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar on Introduction to Working with Imagery in ArcGIS. So we have a lot to cover in short amount of time. Therefore, for today's presentation, we'll be at a higher level. But if you see something of interest, I strongly advise you to get in touch with us to discuss any imagery related solution in greater detail. We would be pleased to meet you in person or in virtual. So, ArcGIS provides a comprehensive professional platform for managing, analyzing, and serving overlapping temporal multi-resolution imagery from multiple sources, format, and projection. The level of implementation requirement, frequency, and functionality differs in a wide range. Use of imagery can be categorized into 5 main capabilities. Okay, the first one is management and map production, analysis and AI, visualization exploitation, and lastly, the content. Okay. Across these 5 main capabilities, Esri has provided you various of imagery tools and solutions to suit your operation needs and desired imagery output product across multiple platforms, either in desktop, server, cloud environment, and also web application. So, ArcGIS image product suite that quickly integrate imagery into all of your workflow. It empowers your organization to host, analyze, stream imagery, and raster collection from your desktop, on-premise, or in the cloud. So, you can run image analysis and raster analysis at site, or city, country, and even at a global scale. Extract insight by performing analysis including classification, multi-dimensional, and advanced artificial intelligence workflow. So you can share the insight you get with the internal and external stakeholder as an interactive app, dashboard, and report to drive faster and more effective decision making. So most of you are familiar with the current deployment of ArcGIS image, right? So ArcGIS Image Analyst is for the ArcGIS Pro and ArcGIS Image Server for ArcGIS Enterprise. And today, we'll be introducing you to a new SaaS and managed SaaS deployment, which is ArcGIS Image for ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Image Dedicated. Okay. We will go by one by one deployment of ArcGIS Image, starting with the ArcGIS Pro. So, as your imagery skill increase, ArcGIS Pro has all the remote sensing tools needed to support your organization. For instance, we introduced a various type of processing capability called the raster function. And this raster function also can be chained together to do complex analysis. And with the image analysis extension, you can perform entire machine learning workflow with imagery in ArcGIS Pro. So machine learning tools have been a core component of spatial analysis in GIS for decades. You have been able to use machine learning in ArcGIS Pro to perform image classification, enrich data with clustering, or model spatial relationship. With the ArcGIS image analysis extension, you can perform entire deep learning workflow with imagery in ArcGIS Pro. So, deep learning offers you to use more than standard machine learning classification technique. So, Esri has developed tools and workflow to utilize the latest innovation in deep learning to answer some of the challenging questions in GIS and also remote sensing application. So there are many computer vision tasks that can be accomplished by deep learning and neural network. And Esri has developed tools that allow you to perform pixel classification, object detection, instance segmentation, and the last one is image segmentation. Now we will go to the next deployment, which is ArcGIS Enterprise. So if you want to have a complete control on your deployment, ArcGIS Enterprise is the answer. Collaboration and flexibility are the central of the ArcGIS Enterprise, allowing you to organize and share your work on any device and anywhere at any time. So ArcGIS image server is one of the ArcGIS server role, and it is part of the ArcGIS Enterprise. With rapid access to your imagery and scalable processing is the core of image management. The imagery needs of your organization will grow, and it's important to have a proper image management. It starts with our data model for imagery called Mosaic dataset, and that it lets you to quickly access any image pixel at any time within your entire archive. And now you can store this managed dataset locally in the shared drive wherever you are working. But you also have the option to harness the power of image server to make your image accessible across the entire suite of your ArcGIS software. And ArcGIS image server is part of ArcGIS Enterprise. It licensed separately, but it can deploy on its own server, and federated to the entire enterprise will allow it to harness the full power. Okay. These are the key highlight capability which allow you to create fully dynamic image service, and they can use just like the full image product without needing to download the image locally. And I can say it can be remains on the server, and it can be accessed and used by many people simultaneously. Next, image analysis traditionally existed on the desktop, relying on the cost of your local machine produce the result. Okay, so raster analytics in the image server takes these same tools that have been traditionally in desktop oriented, bring them to the server. Okay, as the general auto mapping capability of image server, the autophoto are also accessible as dynamic image services on the fly processing. So it can enabling access to the overlapping imagery to improve image interpretation. And the last one is client application can upload imagery to be stored in the raster data store and become accessible on the portal as the imagery layer item. Okay, so the advantage of using image server, you can also leverage the automaker as one of the workflow in drone imagery processing. So what is the automaker? Automaker is the web interface to allow user to upload drone image for processing in auto mapping on ArcGIS image server. This was a fairly basic capability in the prior release. Now, with the improvement in user feedback and language support, and focus to the online environment, we're using ground control via feature service. Online measurement tools have been expanded with the ability to do measurement of volume in stockpile and excavation. So the automaker is powered by Enterprise and ArcGIS image server. It uses the distributed processing and storage capability of Enterprise and ArcGIS image server to quickly process hundreds or thousands of images collected by drones. And it creates seamless auto image mosaic, digital surface model, and digital terrain model. With the ArcGIS Enterprise 11 release on 21st July 2022, ArcGIS image server will include the Deep Learning Studio, which is a new web application that streamlines the entire deep learning workflow. This web app provides a multi-user project-based collaborative environment for users to collect training samples, train deep learning model, and run inferencing at scale, all through a web browser with no software installation required. So, In this demo, I will show how end-to-end workflow of Deep Learning Studio in ArcGIS Enterprise deployment. So this is the interface of Deep Learning Studio web application running on ArcGIS Enterprise. Okay, and in this demo, I train a deep learning model and use it to detect utility cover from aerial imagery. I create a new project and name it. Then select the type of task I want my deep learning model to perform. And in this case is object detection. There are two steps to create the model. Okay, prepare the training data and training the model. Then they will be able to make use of it, which we call running inferencing. To prepare training data, okay, I select my input. I define the label what I want to collect, which is in this case is manhole, and I can invite collaborator to fine tuning my data, my training data, and finally I define work area for each of my collaborator to work in. We can now start to collect our training sample. Okay. So the label are created manually. Okay. You can select manually the manhole. Once complete, project manager can review the training sample through a dashboard. Okay. About 330 label has been collected over the 4 working areas. So the project manager can review the label to ensure the accuracy. So either the manager can approve or the manager can reject them. After the labeling is complete, okay, we can export training data and head to the next step, which is training a deep model. You can pick the training sample and specify the model type you want to train. This training takes a few minutes. Okay. This training takes a few minutes. Okay. Once complete, detailed statistics are provided. Okay. This model can now be published to my portal, and we can select newly created model and we can use it to detect the manhole. Okay. Here you pick your model. Okay. Select your input. Define the area of interest and start it. Okay. Fast forward. Here are the results. That is the pretty much end-to-end workflow, and with all within this web application, with nothing installed on your local system. Next, I will proceed with the ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online. So it is a software as a service, which is called SaaS, solution that let user in an organization host, analyze, and stream imagery and raster collection using the ArcGIS Online cloud instead of their own infrastructure. With ArcGIS Online, you will be up and running quickly without installing software or procuring additional hardware. So, managing imagery is difficult. A lot of money is spent on buying imagery, but how do you make sure to use it? Then another problem comes. How to make the imagery accessible? Solution to that problem is easy. Just using the ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online. Okay. The first one, it will make the imagery accessible. It simplifies the imagery management. It can help to eliminate the need for infrastructure. So you can host, analyze, and stream imagery or raster data without needing to deploy and manage infrastructure. Then it helps you to stay within your budget because you save on infrastructure cost and maintenance using a secure scalable, and performance cloud environment managed by the Esri. And lastly, allow you to run analysis on your imagery in ArcGIS Online, which is a perform powerful interpretation, image, and raster analytic workflow at scale. So with the ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online, you are able to simplify image management and scale raster analytics as a SaaS. You are able to host, analyze, and stream your imagery and raster data via the cloud. And for hosting, organizations are able to host and manage imagery in ArcGIS Online. And it supports all forms of imagery and raster, standard projection, and multiple metadata sensor and collection platform. You can host your own imagery to all other partner content, whether it's satellite, aerial, drone photo, automosaic, terrain, and so on. For the analyze part, with the imagery you have hosted, okay, you have the ability to use image and raster analytics at scale for classification, multidimensional, and AI workflow. User can perform image analysis in ArcGIS Online using more than 150 raster functions and 20 ready-to-use raster analytic tools. ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online can help organizations to assess suitability, detect changes, inspect assets, monitor vegetation, and so on. So for streaming purpose, leverage ArcGIS dissemination capability to reach all your users and directly integrate imagery into your existing geospatial workflow. Next, I want to show how can we leverage the capability of ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online. I begin the workflow by logging into ArcGIS Online, and let's look at my setting for my account. In order to leverage the capability of ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online, you can see I have been assigned a license. Okay? This is ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online. Then I will click content to get started loading imagery. To load imagery, I click new item and then select imagery layer. For the hexagon imagery, I will create a tile imagery layer and click next. I just have one image, so I will select this option and click next. I will browse and select all the files for the TIFF image. With ArcGIS image, we support over 30 raster format. I can see already the progress in the uploading of my image. I will click next to continue creating my tile imagery layer. Okay. I will add name for the tile imagery layer, add subtext to make it easy to find within the online organization, and click to finish creating the tile imagery layer. Depending on the amount of imagery you are uploading, it may take some time to fully create the tile imagery layer. Okay, I have already prepared one sample data for this demo. Now I will show you the other tool of ArcGIS image online, which is object detection using the deep learning. Okay, I hover to the analysis and raster analysis, choose deep learning, choose object detection, and choose what deep learning model that I want to use. And lastly, click run analysis. Okay. Okay, we wait until it finishes analyze. And that's it. Our building footprint has been detected using the deep learning in ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online. Next, I will explain what is the ArcGIS image dedicated. ArcGIS image dedicated bring raster analytic and streaming capabilities directly to imagery in your Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure cloud environment. And ArcGIS image dedicated is ideal for organizations that have imagery in cloud storage, are mandated to keep their imagery in specific region, or need to process imagery close to existing storage to reduce the ingress cost and enable scalability. ArcGIS image dedicated is a new deployment of ArcGIS image, and this managed has been built for organizations who need or want to access imagery from their own cloud storage. Okay? That means you are storing massive amount of data in the cloud compared to having the ability to store this data locally or in ArcGIS online. So the image services are set up to next to your data in the cloud, and then you can use ArcGIS Pro, predefined workflow or API to alter and publish your imagery data. You can then publish this data as a tile or dynamic imagery layer, and then those images are able to scale very well. And ArcGIS image dedicated allow you to transform and convert many different types of data using predefined processing. Next, I will pass to Nazmin to explain more on the Focus app.
Okay, thank you, Rashdan. That's a very informative sharing of ArcGIS image. Okay, next I will continue on how you can extend your imagery capability in the ArcGIS focus applications. So for the first application that I will share, it is we call it ArcGIS Drone to Map. Okay, this application is a desktop application that designed for user with a collection of drone images and to perform a rapid processing. Okay. The advantage of using ArcGIS Drone to Map is that you can process your imagery in the field or even in the office, and you can directly share your captured imagery to ArcGIS Online or even to your enterprise portal to access it without the needs for you to going back to your office. You can use any modern drone to capture high resolution imagery where and when you need to be processed by the ArcGIS Drone to Map. With the latest version updates, now Sure technology have been equipped at the back-end processing as an engine to produce more detailed and a high-quality product. ArcGIS Drone to Map have 7 predefined templates, which very easy to use. Okay, in order to produce various products such as orthophoto mosaic, digital terrain model, digital surface models, even 3D textured mesh, contours, and many more. Product from ArcGIS Drone to Map can be shared as a map, scenes into your portal, as well as can be shared as a project that can be loaded into your ArcGIS Pro directly. And from this product, you might be able to gain more insight and seamlessly utilize across your ArcGIS platform, even in the desktop and various web applications. Okay, next applications that I will share to you is about the ArcGIS EXCALIBUR. It is a very intuitive web-based project that can assist you in terms of the image analytics and exploitation, and it provides you the way for you to work with the imagery in a focused web interface that have been designed to promote efficient workflows for better decisions. For today's session, I will highlight 4 main capabilities from the various tools that have been introduced in the ArcGIS EXCALIBUR, which is the first one that I will share to you is the search for imagery. These tools will make you easy to search and discover the imagery that's available to you within your organization through a number of experiences. You can connect directly to an imagery layer as an image service in URL and even through the imagery catalog search. The imagery catalog search allows you to quickly search for imagery layers over areas of interest to discover and queue images for further use. The next capability that I will share to you which is you can easily work with your imagery. Once you have located the image of interest, you can easily connect to the imagery exploitation canvas, where you can utilize a wide variety of tools to begin working with your imagery. The imagery exploitation canvas allows you to view your imagery on top of a default base map, where the imagery is automatically auto-rectified and aligned with the map. The exploitation canvas also enables you to simultaneously view the same image in a more focused manner, as it was captured in its native perspective. Next, I will continue the third highlight tools for ArcGIS EXCALIBUR, which is the display tools. These tools optimizing your imagery to get the most value of each image pixels in the ArcGIS EXCALIBUR display tools. These tools include image renderers, filters, and the ability to change the band combinations, and even to apply settings such as the DRA and gamma. Setting to change image transparency and compression also included in these display tools. The last key highlight tools for the EXCALIBUR, which is the exploitation tools. These tools will have the capability for you to make a labeling and measurements, as well as to markup. Okay, through the markup tools, you can create a simple graphic on top of your imagery using the text and shape elements to call attention to areas of interest through the outline, fill, transparency, and much more capabilities. Okay, the measurement tools allows you to measure the horizontal and vertical distance, areas, and feature location of an image. Okay, the next applications that I will share is SiteScan for ArcGIS. SiteScan for ArcGIS is a complete cloud-based end-to-end system for capturing, managing, and analyzing drone imagery. We begin with planning and capturing on the iOS application on iPad. The application is easily connected to your drone when you are out in the field and using the flight that you have charted and devised earlier, or even on the spot, which is to capture the image through the drones with autonomous flight. After collecting all those survey images, the data will be uploaded to the cloud for further data management, processing, and analysis in the SiteScan web applications. The collaborations, of course, is the best part of any jobs. This process is enhanced where SiteScan integrates directly with your enterprise environments or ArcGIS online solutions. It's also integrated for the Autodesk BIM 360 for architecture, engineering, and construction practices. The next I will share to you is the Sure for ArcGIS. Just for a quick recap and overview, early in year 2020, Esri has acquired N-Frames and their Sure product lines. N-Frames is a photogrammetry software company that has made leaps in the ability to create 3D information from imagery and LiDAR. N-Frames developed Sure, an industry-leading imagery and LiDAR 3D surface reconstruction software. Esri will make sure the capabilities are available in ArcGIS drone tool maps and SiteScan for ArcGIS, so user can create a better meshes, point clouds, and true or truths from your drone imagery. Sure for ArcGIS takes inputs from your imagery and LiDAR using Sure aerial and Sure LiDAR products, which can create a better point clouds, digital surface models, or even your digital surface models, which then support the automated production of DSM orthophotos and 3D, or even 2.5 textured meshes. And this is transforming mapping 3D visualizations, change detections, and surface analytics that later can be utilized and shared in your ArcGIS environments. Last but not least, this provides a summary what have been shared by my friend Rashdan and me myself to show the full suite of products and capabilities that ArcGIS technology can provide to you in a various deployment, either in your desktop, in your server environment, or even in the cloud, which this product suites of the imagery will provide you a complete end-to-end workflow of your imagery management, processing, and disseminations. And this is the end of my presentations. For the resources, you may refer to the links in the slides, which later on will be shared to the attendees. Thank you, and pass over to you, Hanan.
Thank you, Nazmin and Rashdan. That was such an interesting sharing on the imagery in ArcGIS platform. So we have a couple of questions coming through. If you have been listening intently to Nazmin and Rashdan and you haven't had a chance to type out your questions, there's still time, so you can do that in the question page. So we have a few questions. So the first question here, can the model definition file be edited? So any of you would like to answer that question?
Okay, I believe the question will be referred to the deep learning models. Okay, so if the question is if the model can be edited. Okay, what Rashdan have been shared just now, we have a predefined and pre-trained deep learning models that have been previously developed for you, and you can easily to use it, the models. But ArcGIS platforms are very flexible that you can put any additional parameters on top of your predefined models. I believe that this can achieve what you are trying to produce by utilizing the predefined deep learning models that have been prepared for user to use. So I believe that answering the questions.
Okay, so I hope that answering the questions. So we'll move to the next questions. Hi, my organization would like to invest in imagery processing, but we are limited with budget. Do ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online suitable for it? So would you like to answer?
Okay, so for that question, yes. Okay, to answer your question, yes, it can do the job perfectly. ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online eliminates the need to spend money for infrastructure like server or high-end computer. And it also helps you to stay within your budget because the storage costs are fixed. Okay, so this is good for the someone with limited budget. Okay.
So I hope that answering the question. So we'll have another one more questions before we proceed. Is there any specific drone needed, for example, DJI, to process orthophoto using drone to map?
Okay, thanks for the questions. This is a common question that I have received whenever it's related to the drone processing imagery, especially in ArcGIS drone to maps. There is no specific models or brand that are required for you to process the your area photo, but there are two important details that you need to make sure that your area photo that have been collected using your drone device must have the latitude, longitude, and also the altitude. If you have more information, for example, about the camera, about the lens, about the sensor, it's much more easier and much more improve the analysis at the back end to ArcGIS drone to map to process your imagery. So there is no specific drone needed. You can use just you need to make sure that these parameters must be provided from your drone. I hope that answering the questions.
Okay, so we'll move to the next question. We have another question. So, hi, currently my department already have ArcGIS drone to map. Can I know if site scan flight for ArcGIS that you have shared just now can be used for drone to map?
Okay, thanks Hanan for the questions. Like I mentioned just now, there is applications, we call it site scan flight for the ArcGIS that can be used with the site scan. But if you required to use these applications to plan your flight path to control your drones on the sites, Esri have provided another versions of the site scan flight for ArcGIS. When you search in the Apple App Store, there is called a site scan flight for ArcGIS LE limited editions, which is a simplified versions that can be used in terms of the flight planning that later on you can be used to process in your ArcGIS drone to maps. I hope that's answering the questions. Over to you, Hanan.
So that's all the time we have for today. If we have not answered your questions, we will surely reach out to you with a response. So we have another few questions coming in. So that never mind, we will respond to you via the email. So that's all we have for today. Okay, so so we really love your feedback. So take the time to fill out the brief survey that you will see pop up at the end of the session. So please do let us know any specific topic that you'd like to hear about. Maybe you'd like to have more sessions on the tips and tricks or any product and application. So please do let us know. So further feedback or questions can be sent directly to events@esrimalaysia.com.my. And finally, if you'd like to rewatch this webinar or share with your colleagues, the recording will be available shortly on Esri Malaysia events page. So thanks Nazmin and Rashdan, and thanks everyone for joining us today. So we will see you for the next Direction Live Online webinar series. Thank you.